Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How much is your peace worth? How much is your dignity worth? Too often, we find ourselves bending, breaking, and burning just to light the way for people who don't even care to walk the path with us. Stop right there. Because the truth is, you were not put on this earth to sacrifice yourself for foolishness. Your worth is not something that can be measured by how much you give to others or how many sacrifices you make. Too often, people fall into the trap of thinking their value comes from what they can do for others, how much they can offer, or how far they're willing to go to please someone else. But that's not where true worth lies. True worth is inherent. It's built into who you are, not what you do for others. Your life, your talents, your time, and your presence have value simply because you exist. The sooner you embrace this truth, the sooner you'll stop giving away parts of yourself to people and situations that don't deserve it. You see, the world will try to convince you that you need to prove your worth, that you need to overextend yourself to be appreciated, that you need to bend, compromise, and exhaust yourself to be loved or respected. This is a lie. The problem with this mindset is that it places your sense of value in the hands of others. It makes your self-worth conditional on their approval, their recognition, or their gratitude. And here's the truth: if you depend on others to validate your worth, you'll never feel enough. Because people are flawed, and many won't see the value in you until it's convenient for them, or worse, until they've lost you. Your worth isn't based on how much you can give, but rather on the essence of who you are. Imagine for a moment that you own a priceless diamond. Does the diamond lose its value because someone doesn't know how to recognize it? Of course not. Its value remains the same no matter who is looking at it. You are that diamond. The fact that someone fails to see your brilliance doesn't mean it isn't there. Their inability to appreciate your worth is a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. But here's the catch: if you don't believe in your own worth, you'll keep handing yourself over to people who can't see it either. When you fail to recognize your inherent value, you allow others to define it for you. And most of the time, they'll define it in ways that serve them, not you. This is how people end up in toxic relationships, draining friendships, or one-sided partnerships. You might find yourself constantly giving, always trying to prove your loyalty, your love, or your dedication, only to be left feeling empty and unappreciated. The truth is, no one who truly values you will ever require you to sacrifice yourself just to prove your worth. Real love and respect don't ask for that. They don't demand that you diminish yourself to make someone else feel bigger. They don't require you to break yourself to build someone else up. The moment you realize your worth is not negotiable, everything changes. You start to see that it's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away from situations and people who don't value you. It's okay to prioritize your own peace and happiness over someone else's convenience. This doesn't make you selfish, it makes you wise. Because every time you give yourself to someone or something unworthy of your time and energy, you're not only doing yourself a disservice, but also denying the right people the chance to experience the best of you. Think about the opportunities you've missed, the peace you've sacrificed, and the joy you've given away to people who didn't deserve it. Reflect on how many times you've allowed someone else's opinion or treatment of you to dictate how you feel about yourself. It's time to stop. You are not here to be drained, used, or taken for granted. You are here to thrive, to grow, and to shine. And the right people, the ones who truly see your value, will never ask you to sacrifice yourself for their benefit. Instead, they'll celebrate you for who you are. They'll encourage you to be your best self, not because of what you can do for them, but because they genuinely appreciate you. When you start to live with this mindset, you'll notice a shift. The wrong people will fall away, and the right people will step forward. Opportunities that align with your true purpose will begin to appear. And most importantly, you'll feel a sense of peace and fulfillment that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your true worth. Because when you value yourself, the world around you starts to reflect that value back to you. And that, more than anything, is what you truly deserve. There is a fine line between helping someone and allowing yourself to be pulled down in the process. Often we step into situations with the best intentions, wanting to uplift others, guide them, or provide them with the support they need. And while helping someone is one of the most meaningful acts we can engage in, it becomes a problem when that help starts to chip away at our own well-being. The truth is, not every situation or person deserves your energy, and knowing when to help and when to step back is an act of wisdom. Helping someone means empowering them to grow, to find their strength, and to overcome challenges. It's a partnership where both parties respect each other's boundaries and efforts. When you help someone, you're not doing everything for them, nor are you carrying their weight indefinitely. You're offering support that complements their own efforts. Genuine help is uplifting, it feels right. It doesn't leave you drained, frustrated, or questioning your own worth. Being pulled down, on the other hand, feels entirely different. It's when your attempts to help become an endless cycle of giving that leaves you exhausted, emotionally depleted, or even resentful. This often happens when the person you're trying to help isn't willing to help themselves. They rely on you to fix their problems, but they make no effort to change or take responsibility for their actions. Instead of partnership, it becomes dependence, and instead of progress, you find yourself stuck in their chaos. The distinction lies in effort and intention. When someone truly wants help, they show it through their actions. They listen, they try, and they take steps, no matter how small, to move forward. They value the help you offer and work alongside you to better their situation. But when someone is pulling you down, their actions don't match their words. They may ask for help repeatedly, but refuse to take the necessary steps to improve their circumstances. They might even manipulate your kindness, knowing you'll keep showing up no matter how little they contribute. It's important to recognize that helping someone doesn't mean sacrificing yourself. You can extend a hand without letting them pull you into the water. Boundaries are essential here. Boundaries protect both your well-being and the integrity of the help you're offering. They ensure that your efforts are sustainable and that the person you're helping understands that your role is to support, not to carry them entirely. Without boundaries, your help can quickly become enabling. Instead of empowering someone to stand on their own, you may unintentionally create a situation where they rely on you to do everything for them. People confuse selflessness with allowing themselves to be used. They think that true generosity means giving without limits, even at the expense of their own peace and happiness. But the reality is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If helping someone leaves you feeling drained, anxious, or unappreciated, it's a sign that the balance has shifted and you're no longer helping, they're pulling you down. This doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you don't care enough. It simply means you need to reassess the situation and protect your own well-being. It's also worth noting that not everyone is ready for help. Some people are stuck in a mindset of victimhood, where they're more comfortable complaining about their problems than solving them. They may reject advice, resist change, or continue making the same mistakes despite your efforts to guide them. In these cases, it's not your job to force them to change. Change has to come from within, and no amount of help can make someone ready if they aren't willing to do the work. Helping someone should never come at the cost of your own mental, emotional, or physical health. It's okay to step back, even if it feels difficult. It's okay to say no when you recognize that your efforts are being taken for granted, or when you see that the other person isn't willing to meet you halfway. Remember, walking away doesn't mean you don't care, it means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your well-being. The key is discernment. Before offering help, ask yourself, is this person truly trying to improve their situation? Are they willing to put in the effort needed to make progress? Am I helping them grow, or am I simply enabling them to stay stuck? By answering these questions honestly, you'll be able to make decisions that not only protect your own peace, but also ensure that your help is meaningful and effective. Your time, energy, and purpose are among the most valuable resources you possess, yet they are often the most overlooked. In a world filled with distractions, demands, and obligations, it's easy to lose sight of how much of yourself you give away to things that don't serve your growth or align with your mission. Protecting these resources is not about being selfish, it's about recognizing their value and treating them with the respect they deserve. When you guard your time, energy, and purpose, you set the foundation for a more focused, fulfilling, and meaningful life. Time is finite. Every second that passes is a moment you'll never get back. Yet so many people treat time as though it's limitless, wasting it on activities, people, or habits that add no value to their lives. The truth is, if you don't take control of your time, someone else will. Whether it's unnecessary meetings, endless scrolling on social media, or saying yes to commitments that don't serve you, time slips away when you don't guard it. Protecting your time starts with being intentional. It's about knowing what matters most to you and prioritizing those things above all else. It's about learning to say no without guilt, understanding that every yes to something meaningless is a no to something meaningful. Energy is just as important as time, but it's often even more neglected. You only have so much energy to give each day, and where you direct it determines the quality of your life. Yet people and situations that drain your energy can sneak into your life without you realizing it. Whether it's toxic relationships, negative environments, or habits that leave you feeling depleted, these energy drainers can take a significant toll on your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. To protect your energy, you must be mindful of where it's going. Are you pouring your energy into things that uplift and empower you, or are you giving it away to things that leave you feeling empty? Be selective. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, engage in activities that recharge you, and create boundaries to keep negativity at bay. Purpose is the driving force behind a meaningful life. It's the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the thing that gives your life direction and fulfillment. Yet purpose is often sacrificed in the pursuit of external validation, financial gain, or simply trying to keep up with the expectations of others. When you lose sight of your purpose, life starts to feel hollow, no matter how much you achieve or how busy you are. Protecting your purpose means staying connected to what truly matters to you. It's about knowing your why and letting it guide your decisions, rather than allowing external pressures to dictate your path. This requires clarity and reflection. You need to ask yourself, what am I here for? What legacy do I want to leave behind? And are my daily actions aligning with that purpose? Protecting your time, energy, and purpose requires boundaries, strong ones. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being unkind, or about making sure that what you allow into your life aligns with your values and goals. Setting boundaries means being firm about your priorities and not apologizing for putting yourself first. It means recognizing when someone or something is overstepping and having the courage to say, "This isn't for me." Boundaries are a form of self-respect, and they teach others how to treat you, It's also important to be aware of distractions. Distractions are everywhere, constantly vying for your attention and pulling you away from what truly matters. Some distractions are obvious, like mindless entertainment or overcommitting to things that don't serve you. Others are more subtle, like chasing goals that don't align with your purpose or getting caught up in other people's drama. Protecting your time, energy, and purpose means learning to recognize these distractions and making a conscious effort to avoid them. It's about staying focused on the big picture and not letting the noise of the world drown out your inner voice. Protecting these resources is about self-awareness. You need to know yourself, what energizes you, what drains you, and what fulfills you. This requires honesty and introspection. It means taking the time to check in with yourself regularly, to evaluate whether you're living in alignment with your values and purpose. Self-awareness allows you to make adjustments when needed, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to embrace what truly matters. When you protect your time, energy, and purpose, you take ownership of your life. You stop letting the world dictate how you should live and start living on your own terms. You create space for the things that truly matter, and you align yourself with the path that leads to fulfillment and joy. These resources are precious, and once you treat them as such, you'll find that your life begins to reflect the value placed on them. Setting boundaries and walking away when necessary is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect and self-preservation. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to allow anyone or anything to diminish it. Life is full of situations and people that may challenge your sense of peace and self-worth, but how you respond defines the quality of your life. Establishing clear boundaries isn't about shutting others out or being unkind. It's about protecting your time, energy, and well-being. It's about knowing your limits and having the courage to enforce them, even when it's uncomfortable. Boundaries are essential in all aspects of life, relationships, work, and even within yourself. They serve as guidelines for how others should treat you and how you treat yourself. Without boundaries, it's easy to become overwhelmed, taken advantage of, or left feeling drained and unappreciated. They are a form of self-care, ensuring that you prioritize your needs and values over external pressures. Setting boundaries starts with understanding what is acceptable to you and what isn't. It requires a deep sense of self-awareness and the ability to identify situations where your values or well-being are being compromised. Establishing boundaries is not always easy, especially when dealing with people you care about. There may be a fear of rejection, conflict, or being perceived as difficult. However, boundaries are not about others, they are about you. They are about creating a safe space where you can thrive emotionally, mentally, and physically. Communicating your boundaries is key. It's about being clear and assertive, yet respectful. You don't have to justify your boundaries to anyone, but you must stand firm in enforcing them. People who genuinely care for you will respect your limits, while those who don't are likely the very people you need to distance yourself from. Walking away when necessary is the next step in boundary setting. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, certain situations or relationships will continue to cross your boundaries. This is when you must make the difficult decision to remove yourself. Walking away is not an act of weakness, it's a demonstration of strength and self-respect. It's about choosing yourself when someone or something continually disrespects your limits or drains your energy. It's about recognizing that not every battle is worth fighting, and that your peace of mind is more valuable than staying in a toxic environment or relationship. Walking away can feel daunting, especially when there are emotional attachments involved. But holding on to what no longer serves you only prolongs the pain. Letting go is an act of liberation. It allows you to reclaim your power and redirect your energy toward people and situations that uplift you. Walking away also sets a powerful example to others about how you deserve to be treated. It sends a clear message that you value yourself enough not to settle for less than you deserve. Boundaries and the ability to walk away also apply to your inner world. Sometimes the most significant boundaries you need to set are with yourself. This means recognizing habits, thoughts, or behaviors that undermine your growth or peace. It's about holding yourself accountable for the promises you make to yourself and being disciplined enough to walk away from distractions or self-sabotaging tendencies. You are your own biggest advocate, and setting boundaries with yourself is a way of showing self-love and commitment to your personal growth. Another critical aspect of setting boundaries and walking away is understanding that it's not about controlling others, it's about taking control of your own life. You cannot change or fix people who are unwilling to change, nor can you force situations to align with your needs. What you can do is control your response. By choosing to walk away, you take responsibility for your happiness and refuse to be a victim of circumstances. Walking away doesn't always mean cutting ties completely. Sometimes it's about creating space or taking a step back to reassess the situation. It's about giving yourself room to heal, reflect, and grow. Not every relationship or opportunity that doesn't work out is a failure. Some are simply lessons that teach you more about yourself and what you need. Walking away allows you to close one chapter and open yourself to new possibilities that align with your values and purpose. Setting boundaries and walking away when necessary is about valuing yourself enough to prioritize your well-being over the opinions or expectations of others. It's about choosing peace over chaos, self-respect over approval, and growth over stagnation. By doing so, you create a life that reflects your worth, respects your values, and nurtures your potential. It's a practice of self-love that, while challenging, ultimately leads to a more empowered and fulfilling life. Foolishness lacks the wisdom, insight, and discernment needed to truly recognize value, whether it's in opportunities, relationships, or life itself. When people are consumed by short-sightedness or driven by selfish motives, they fail to see the worth of things that truly matter. They overlook what is priceless in pursuit of what is fleeting, and they squander what could have been life-changing in exchange for temporary satisfaction. This inability to recognize value isn't just about ignorance, it's a reflection of a mindset that prioritizes the trivial over the essential. Foolishness often arises from a lack of maturity or experience. It's easy for someone to dismiss the importance of hard work, loyalty, or integrity when they haven't yet learned the lessons life inevitably teaches. For example, someone may take a friend's unwavering support for granted, assuming it will always be there. They may dismiss the guidance of someone wiser, thinking they know better. Yet, when these things are lost, the realization of their value often comes too late. Foolishness blinds people to the treasures in their lives until those treasures are no longer within reach. A person who is foolish may also struggle to see the potential in others or in opportunities. They may undervalue the sacrifices someone makes for them, failing to recognize the love and effort behind those actions. They may ignore opportunities for growth, dismissing them as unnecessary or unimportant. Instead of appreciating the present moment or the people who add meaning to their lives, they may chase after things that offer instant gratification, but little long-term fulfillment. This short-sightedness not only limits their growth, but also damages the relationships and opportunities that could have enriched their lives. Foolishness can also lead to destructive behavior that erodes trust and damages valuable connections. When someone acts recklessly, they may hurt the very people who care for them the most. They may speak harsh words, make selfish decisions, or betray those who have been loyal to them. all because they fail to understand the value of what they are jeopardizing. Once the damage is done, repairing what has been broken is often impossible. The cost of foolishness is steep, and its consequences can last a lifetime. On the other hand, recognizing value requires a mindset of gratitude, humility, and awareness. It involves looking beyond the surface and appreciating the deeper worth of people, experiences, and opportunities. It means seeing the value of a kind word, the sacrifice of time, or the chance to learn something new. Those who are wise take the time to reflect and appreciate what they have before it's gone. They don't wait for loss to teach them the importance of what they once had. They understand that true value isn't always flashy or immediately apparent. It often lies in the small, consistent acts of love, kindness, and perseverance. Foolishness is often accompanied by arrogance or entitlement, which blinds people to the reality of their actions. Someone who believes they are owed everything may fail to recognize the effort others put into supporting them. They may demand more without appreciating what they already have. Entitlement fosters ingratitude, and ingratitude fuels foolishness. In contrast, humility opens the door to understanding and valuing what is truly important. It allows people to see beyond their immediate desires and recognize the sacrifices others make, the opportunities they are given, and the blessings in their lives. Another aspect of foolishness is its tendency to confuse price with value. Many people chase material possessions or status, believing that these things define their worth or bring happiness. Yet, the most valuable things in life often cannot be bought. Love, loyalty, wisdom, and peace of mind are priceless, but foolishness fails to see their significance. It clings to what is superficial and temporary, ignoring the enduring worth of what truly matters. A person consumed by foolishness may spend their life chasing after things that ultimately leave them empty. Wise individuals understand that value is not always immediately visible. It takes patience, thoughtfulness, and effort to recognize what is meaningful. They understand that a relationship built on trust and respect is more valuable than 100 shallow connections. They know that an opportunity to grow and learn is worth more than fleeting success. And they cherish the people in their lives who show them love and support, never taking them for granted. In contrast, foolishness looks for quick wins and easy rewards, often at the expense of lasting value. Foolishness cannot recognize value because it is too focused on itself. It fails to see beyond the moment or beyond personal desires. But value exists whether it is acknowledged or not. The person who sacrifices for you the opportunity that challenges you to grow, or the lesson hidden in adversity, these things have worth that cannot be diminished by someone's inability to see it. Foolishness may overlook value, but wisdom embraces it, nurtures it, and ensures it is never wasted. Life has a way of filling up with distractions, clutter, and commitments that often leave no room for the blessings that are meant to transform and uplift us. Creating space for the right blessings requires intentionality and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves your growth or purpose. You cannot hold on to everything and still expect to receive what is truly meant for you. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is making room for what is yet to come, even if that means releasing the familiar or comfortable. When you're surrounded by chaos or tied to things that drain your energy, it becomes difficult to recognize or welcome new opportunities. Clutter, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, can block the flow of blessings into your life. Imagine trying to pour water into a cup that's already full. No matter how pure or abundant the water is, it has nowhere to go. The same principle applies to life. If your time, energy, and focus are consumed by things that don't align with your purpose, there's no room for the blessings that could help you grow into the person you're meant to be. Creating space often starts with evaluating what you're holding on to and why. Are there relationships in your life that take more than they give? Are you clinging to habits that offer comfort but hold you back from growth? Are you filling your days with distractions that keep you from pursuing your true calling? Letting go of these things isn't easy, especially when they've become a part of your identity or routine. But holding on to them out of fear or familiarity can prevent you from stepping into the fullness of what life has to offer. Letting go is an act of trust. It requires believing that by releasing what no longer serves you, you are making room for something better. This doesn't mean dismissing every challenge or inconvenience. Growth often requires perseverance through difficulty. But it does mean being honest with yourself about what is truly helping you move forward and what is holding you back. It means trusting that the blessings meant for you will arrive when the time is right, but only if you've made the space to receive them. Creating space for the right blessings also involves setting boundaries. Not everything and everyone deserves access to your time, energy, and attention. Boundaries protect the space you've created, ensuring it remains open for what truly matters. Without boundaries, it's easy for your life to become overrun with other people's expectations, demands, or drama. Saying no to what drains you is not selfish, it's an act of self-respect and faith. It's a way of signaling to the universe that you are ready to prioritize what aligns with your purpose. Patience is another essential part of creating space. Once you've made room, it's natural to want the blessing to arrive immediately. But blessings often come in their own time, not on your schedule. Waiting requires faith and a willingness to trust the process. It's during this waiting period that you have the opportunity to grow, prepare, and align yourself with the blessings you're seeking. The space you've created isn't just for receiving, it's for becoming. The person you are today may not be ready for the blessings you're meant to receive, but the process of creating space allows you to evolve. It's also important to be intentional about what you invite into your life. Not every opportunity is a blessing, and not every person is meant to stay. Discernment helps you recognize what aligns with your values and purpose, ensuring that the space you've created is filled with what truly matters. When you're intentional, you're not just accepting whatever comes your way, you're choosing to fill your life with things that uplift, inspire, and contribute to your growth. Gratitude plays a crucial role in this process. Being grateful for what you already have creates a mindset of abundance rather than lack. It helps you focus on the blessings that are already present in your life, even as you make space for more. Gratitude doesn't mean settling for less, it means appreciating the journey and trusting that greater blessings are on the way. When you approach life with a grateful heart, you're better able to recognize the opportunities and blessings that align with your purpose. Faith is the foundation of creating space for the right blessings. It's the belief that what is meant for you will not pass you by, as long as you're open and prepared to receive it. This faith gives you the courage to release what no longer serves you, set boundaries, and patiently wait for the right time. It reminds you that you are not in this alone, that there is a greater plan at work, and your role is to prepare yourself for the good things to come. Creating space is not a one-time act, but an ongoing process. As you grow and evolve, the things that once served you may no longer fit into your life. Periodically reassessing what you're holding on to ensures that you remain open to new blessings and opportunities. This continual process of release and renewal allows you to live with intention, purpose, and alignment, ensuring that your life remains a place where the right blessings can flourish.